Today we are going to talk about a well-known saying, early to bed and early to rise.
I think the definition is quite straightforward. If you look at the words early to bed, which clearly indicates that sleeping early or getting into bed early, early to rise, also indicates getting up early. And there might be like different timings you can interpret that with. For example, early to bed at around 8 o'clock as soon as the sun sets, and early to rise maybe just before the sun rises.
So, Mr. Abdurrahman, what do you think about the impact of sleeping late at night on your studies and your work life?
I think the main issue with sleeping late for most students as well, or most people who work, is that most people's daily job routine is in the morning. If you sleep late, waking up in the morning and being fresh and being able to do many things and going up to your full potential is not quite doable if you sleep late. Obviously you won't be fully energized. And if it comes to school, let's suppose school, most schools have the timings about 7 a.m. to about 3 p.m. And if you sleep late, waking up at 7 a.m. fully energized is a thing that's gonna affect your school pretty much in a negative way. As when you go to school, you wouldn't be able to study or learn things that you would if you sleep early, as you wouldn't be fully energized and you wouldn't feel like being in school at that time. And I think that's one negative impact of sleeping late. One good thing about sleeping late, and it's like a very small good thing, but I think it's worthy of being mentioned, is some people, they feel like they're very good at studying at night. So for example, I do my university or my school in the morning, come back home, have a little rest and do whatever I need to do, maybe gym and stuff. Then at night, most people, they think that it's like a time where you are in your own circle and you like to study at that time and no distractions are in your presence. I feel like that's one good thing about sleeping late, but it can't overweight the negatives and the drawbacks of this sleeping late. Alright, so Mr. Sheikh, let's get to our fourth question. What are some of the key success factors that may be strengthened by sleeping early and waking up early?
I think one thing that plays the most important role is productivity. So when you sleep early and you wake up early, you are quite fresh, you feel good, you feel energized, and when you go to work, you are able to give your full potential. And I think when you're able to give high productivity, that automatically results in promotions or being recognized or having more opportunities in life. The second key role is discipline. So it's not sleeping early and waking up early, it's not just about health benefits or just a few factors, but it's more of like a whole lifestyle. It prepares you to be more disciplined in other ways as well. When you're disciplined in one particular way, you try to be disciplined in all of the ways of your daily routine. So I think that's the key factors that plays quite an important role. So Mr. Abdurrahman, why do you think that people sleep late these days?
I feel like one main issue is the whole world nowadays, the society has kind of developed into this routine in which most people, 95% of people, they sleep late and they wake up late. And when that happens, for you to maintain your socializing with people or networking with people, you can't like avoid those meetings or avoid those hangouts or avoid those night outs with your friends or your co-workers or your classmates. And I think one of the main issue is that you have to, in a way, you have to network with other people, right? Yes. To develop yourself as a person. In order to do that, you can't just sleep early, right? So I think one main issue is that networking. That's one main issue, I think.
Same. I think it's quite favorable that you can't just minus your social life, and the major drawback is the job system in our society of how 9 to 5 works, and it's actually not 9 to 5, it's actually 8 to 6. 1 hour, you take almost 1 hour to go to work, then 1 hour to come back, then you get tired, you take some rest, and then you think about socializing. So I think the job factor of how 8 to 9 hours a day is quite too much, I think, but people might think other ways. So this kind of cuts off your social life, and that's why people people sleep late, because they have to give time to their friends, to their families, to people around them.
I was going to add that most people, they're also ones to blame. For example, students, that their university finishes in the morning and they can arrange their meetings or hangouts or night outs, not night outs but like hanging out, somewhere earlier. But most students don't do that for, I'm not sure what the reason is, but this is one thing that people can work on, that if they can find any other time than like late nights, I feel like that's a key factor that can help you, or that can help you in a way that 50% of your week you'll sleep early, if you know what I mean. But what's the main reason? Why do you think people get up late?
I think it's in contrast with the previous question, why people sleep late. They're quite interconnected. So when you sleep late, you tend to wake up late. But there are other reasons as well. In many third world countries or many underdeveloped countries, businesses start quite late. And that's the one main reason people tend to push their, their waking up time so that they don't have much to do when they wake up early, because everything is closed. They don't have anywhere to go out. They don't have anything to do. Like even for supermarkets in many third world countries, they open up at 12 p.m. So yeah, what's good in waking up early when you can't even go for grocery shopping or the basic things? So I think that's the main reason. So Mr. Abdurrahman, what do you think is the impact on the society as a whole if you sleep late and wake up late?
I feel like there are more drawbacks than benefits in this. I feel like one major drawback, and the only drawback I can see, is that you won't be able to network with people. I feel like one of the impact of sleeping late is that most people, for example students, their age is around 18 to 20, 21, 22. So when they sleep late and wake up late, by the time they're at the age of 40 or even 30, most people are indulged in diseases, blood diseases, heart diseases, and many mental health problems. I feel like health-wise, one major impact is that most people, when they're at the age of 30 and 40, they wouldn't be able to do what they want to do, or they wouldn't be able to do or work at their full potential. Alright, Mr. Sheikh, please let the viewers know, how do we overcome this problem living in the society we are in right now?
I think there are two ways. One is you yourself changing your habits and encouraging people around you. And the second role is the people in charge of your country. I think we'll talk about the second point first. In many underdeveloped countries, it's quite the government's responsibility to set up time frame for when supermarkets should open and when should they close, when events like weddings and all these stuff can happen. And there should be a time limit to certain things, so that just to have that lifestyle in the society, just to create a better lifestyle for people. And even if you think about it, sleeping up early and waking up early results in better health as well. So many underdeveloped countries can also benefit from them. They will have to, in very long run, it's quite a minute impact, but it's quite, we can talk about it. So in longer run, you will have to invest less on your healthcare projects as well. But if you talk about you yourself, I think if it's quite, once a week or twice a week, it's okay. You have to be flexible. It's life. And, just be a little chill. But it's a daily habit, then we must consider that we need to try and to make change. And if you are in charge of your family and you start with yourself, people around you will try to follow you as well.
I think I would like to add one more thing. I feel like in the society we're living in, both sleeping up early and sleeping late they have their drawbacks, right? And their benefits.
That's true.
So one thing I'll say is we need to find the midpoint. The midpoint of both. We need to be flexible, right? Yes. We can't just cut off those networks, and we can't just sleep late till 2 a.m. They both have their things. So we need to find the midpoint.
Yes, I agree with you. You can't be just concrete solid. You have to be a little flexible, but not too flexible that you just, start harming up yourself or people around you
Last
through
thing
your practices.
I would like to end with this quote. I think it's a quote, but I remember it's pretty beneficial. That in order to change someone, the change needs to come with you, right?
True.
So change yourself first, then the people around that surround you will change. So that's the main goal, right? Many problems health-wise.
True. So I just would like to include this point for many women out there who are quite beauty freaks. So it's a study that if you don't have enough sleep, it results in premature aging. And what's that? That before you even hit 50s or 40s, that aging starts to appear on your face. And even in your lifestyle as well. You get tired, you get, you can't do basic things that many younger people can do. So yeah, that's a very important role as well.